Hey everybody, HMV here, playing more Rimworld, and I'm obviously doing something slightly different than I did last time. I'm not telling you this from first person. I'll get into why a little bit later when things aren't quite so busy on the screen, but for now, meet Albert Dorsey. He is a 46-year-old medieval farm oaf. Don't know how he got stuck on this Rimworld, but he is incapable of research and hates women. At least he's kind, so hopefully that will go well for him. He's also no good at fighting or crafting, but he is great with plants, so at least he won't starve or, with luck, die from an infection. The big problem is going to be that he can't make a bow, so he can't hunt. At least he can't hunt automatically. Though, in a pinch, I can send him out to beat up some animal senseless with a stick. And to boot, he is exhausted right away, so he needs to sleep right away. Oh, and did I mention he has asthma? Okay, to be honest, I am not too hot on the location I picked for this base. It's way too close to the edge of the map for my taste. But that fertile soil is going to come in really handy. For now, I'm planting rice there, but next spring we'll probably switch to corn. So he gets up early and eats berries. Berries are nice because you can eat them raw with no downside, which is nice because he doesn't have anything else to eat. Did you hear that noise? That means there's something hunting nearby. After last run, I am going to admit I'm a bit wary about that. And it's a wolf. It got a rabbit. I was going to steal the rabbit, but the wolf ate the whole thing. Wolfed it down, you could say. Sorry about that. So I have Albert pick some more berries and then plan some wooden traps. Hopefully they'll catch him some meat. But Albert decides to sleep, so that'll be in the morning. He is failing on making these traps a lot. There's not much I can do about it other than keep trying or stop trying. But I really want those traps, so he's going to keep trying. And the traps take all day to make. Someone named Locust shows up with things to sell, but Albert's really not in any shape to buy or sell anything right now. She does have a very nice bow, but Albert almost literally has nothing to sell her, so there's no way he's going to be able to afford that thing. So he makes a club and goes to sleep. Okay, so Albert decides to go clubbo e bico with a local turkey. They won't fight back when hunted, so hopefully they won't fight back when beaten with a club. So it turns out they will fight back when beaten with a club. Albert prevails with only minor scratches and a prize turkey for his troubles. While resting from his injuries, a mad squirrel decides to attack. Albert hops up and gets right in the middle of his trap maze and waits out the squirrel. I'm not sure if it was the trap or the club, but Albert nabs his second animal of the day. He makes a few meals, and then it's time for bed. Albert had a short day, but he still needs to heal. And he gets up late at night, cuts up the animals for meat and leather, and decides to watch the stars for a bit. I wonder if he knows he came from one of them. He eats, and then it's back to bed for more healing. Yeah, so the reason I decided not to do first person is going to be a little bit more apparent in an upcoming episode. But the main problem is I have one voice. I can't do multiple voices, and I definitely can't do female voices, as I proved last episode. So I decided to go to more of a narrator aspect here. The people are still going to have thoughts and feelings, and I'm going to dictate them sometimes when I feel like it. But mostly I'm just going to sort of tell you what I did, why I did it, much like with my Kerbal Space Program videos. I hope you like it, and if you do, please comment, and if you don't, comment as well, but it might not change my mind. I tend to do what I want, when I want, how I want to do it, so that's that. And he sleeps all day. A bear comes by, but apparently it's only curious. Albert wakes, fully healed, and gets to work. He still has quite a lot of traps to make. And a new day brings new visitors, a proper trade caravan this time. Albert goes out and talks to Gwendy, but as before, their prices are higher than free, so they're too high for Albert. I am constantly afraid here that the caravan people are going to accidentally step on my traps and then blame me for it. Luckily, they didn't. And Albert's first rice crop comes in. This will definitely help, though I think I'll still pick some berries just to round out his diet. And we get some free components. I marked in the hall, but for now I'm prioritizing food. They can sit for a while, especially because Albert doesn't have an indoor storage room yet. So, two things happen here in quick succession. First, we get a raid from a single, poorly equipped barbarian, and Albert senses an ancient danger in the structure just south of the lake. And before Albert can even think about the barbarian, Wendy's caravan takes him out. Free knife for Albert. I wonder if tainted clothes are better than Albert being naked, so I decide to try on the dead man's clothes. I also decide to butcher the man. I mean, hey, he attacked me. But I'm not going to use him for food, I'm just going to use him for leather. A wolf comes by and eats some of that poor guy. I figure better that guy than Albert. And I realize, probably 3 days late, that I should probably be growing heel root. I queue up a small patch in the fertile soil. And now that we're actually accruing assets, it's time for Albert to wall in his storage area. Then, it's time for sleep. Albert gets up early the next day. Eventually he'll have a normal sleep schedule, but he's still adjusting after being bedridden. He makes more traps. His hovel is slowly becoming an actual home. And he continues to fail making traps, but continues to persevere. Wood's essentially free, so all he's really doing is trading time for construction skill. I remember to check his needs tab and realize that tainted clothes are far worse than being naked, at least when it's nice outside. So I have him take him off. I'll have tribal wear soon. But first, a transport pod crashes nearby. In it is a woman, Hermine the Warrior. Having a warrior in the village doesn't sound even remotely bad to Albert, so he goes out and rescues her immediately. He can sleep on the ground for the night. He'll make a new bed for himself tomorrow. She is hurt bad and only had 2 hours to live when he saved her. Her worst injuries were from gunshots and not the crash, which makes me wonder exactly what she was doing immediately before getting into that transport pod. But Albert patches her up and collapses in exhaustion. Hopefully she'll live through the night and decide to join Albert in the morning. I hope you enjoyed watching this. I definitely enjoyed playing it. I'm HMV and I will, as always, talk at you later.